Hi everyone, it's Miss Rossi. Today we're going to create an origami design using Radial Symmetry. This is going to be a paper relief sculpture because our origami designs are going to be three-dimensional, coming up off of our paper and into space. What you'll be needing today is a pencil. We're going to need our origami pack from our art folder. You can take the label off because we don't need that anymore. And then you should have a white pack that is full of all different colored little square pieces of paper that we're going to use for our origami. We'll be needing those today. I'm going to save the little white pack so I can put all my extra papers in there. And then we're also going to need our radial paper relief folds paper that we can reference as we're deciding what we want our design to look like. And the last paper we're going to need is our big black background paper, and this is going to be the base for our relief sculpture. We also need a glue stick today. So to start our Radial Symmetry paper relief sculptures, we are going to take our black paper and we are going to fold it so we have some guidelines when we're making our design, so we know that it is going to be symmetrical around the radius. So with my black paper, I am going to fold it in half. So I am lining up both of those sides and I'm going to crease it. I'm going to open it back up, fold it in half the opposite direction, crease it. So now I have almost like a plus sign of folds that has split my larger square into 4 smaller squares. And now I want some more guidelines to split this up even more to make it easier to make our radial design. So I'm going to go corner to corner, lining those up and creasing it. Opening it back up and doing the same thing. Lining up those corners and creasing it. So now we have all of our spaces laid out. Now we know our symmetrical design is going to be radiating out from the center all around our paper. So no matter what way we fold our paper, it should still be symmetrical. So if we were to fold it in half, it should be symmetrical. If we were to fold it diagonally, it should be symmetrical. It should have the same design going all the way around. So we're going to use our radial paper relief folds to create our designs on our paper. So you can decide what area you would like to start in. I think I am going to start in this top left corner, and I already have some pieces that I folded from my other example video, and I'm just going to start to play around with these to see what I want my design to look like. So you can create whatever kind of design you would like using those origami folds. So you're just going to be arranging your folded papers around your black paper to create a design that shows radial symmetry. Now yours can look however you would like. It does not have to look like mine. You might want to use different colors in a different order. You might want to make different kinds of folds. Maybe you want to focus on some of your favorite folds from our sheet and not use all of them. It's really up to you. It does not matter where you put things as long as your designs are symmetrical. So whatever I put in this box also has to exist in this box, and this box, so that I know it is going to be fully symmetrical all the way around. And whatever is in this triangular half of my first box has to be the same in the opposite half of that same box. So if I were to put this purple kite fold in that corner, I would need to make another kite fold that could go there. So to make this easier, I think it's best if you start by just designing one of your boxes. You can also layer your shapes and your origami folds to make them more interesting. So I can tuck my hat fold into my kite fold. I can even get crazy and tuck my samurai fold in there as well. Maybe I want to tuck my kite fold into my samurai fold to make it stick up a little bit more so my sculpture has more form. Maybe I want to make other colored kite folds and stick those into each other. You can really play around with it to create your design. So I'm going to start by making some more of my different folds here that I can use to play around with my design to see what I'm going to like. You can follow along with the guided handout as you're making your folds, or check the video that I posted above that shows you how to fold each of our designs individually. Once you've done each fold a couple of times though, it gets way easier and you're able to get it done pretty quick. Okay, so now I have another purple kite fold. So maybe if I'm designing in this box, I'm going to make something like that. So since I have my first kite fold sticking at the center and coming out in this first triangle, I'm going to have to do that same thing in the one next to it. And then this same design is going to repeat in all of those boxes to show radial symmetry. I would suggest making a bunch of each fold so then you have different shapes you can play around with in your space to kind of guide your design making. All right, and that is what my first box is going to look like. I definitely got a little carried away with it. I added a lot of layers and a lot of pieces in my box. You do not need to make yours this detailed, and you don't need to have all of your pieces kind of like stacked and layered like mine is. You can really make your design look however you would like as long as it's showing radial symmetry. So with my box here, we can see that it's symmetrical on both sides. If I were to fold this box in half on its own, all of my shapes and sides are symmetrical, so they would all match up. So now I would have to recreate this same design in all of my boxes, coming out at the same angle and looking the same way. If I were to fold my paper in any direction, it would still be symmetrical. Now looking at what I have so far, I can tell I ran out of purple and I'm running out of some of my other colors, so I might not have enough of my origami papers to finish the rest of my boxes. If you start to run out of certain colors, just let me know and I can get you some more dropped off to your classroom. Now that I have my first box design laid out, I'm just going to go in with my glue stick and glue all of those pieces down. All we're doing today is our first box. You don't have to worry about the rest of your project yet. So once you have your first box done, you can glue it down and then stop for today. Next week, we're going to be able to complete the rest of our design. So if you have any extra pieces that you folded and you didn't end up using that are going to work in your design next time, just save those in your folder. You can also save all of your extra pieces of paper that you did not fold or use back in your little white paper pouch and put that in your art folder so you don't lose it for next week along with your instruction sheet. So I'm just going to take my glue stick, glue these down, and then I'll be done. And that is my first section of my Radial Symmetry relief sculpture all finished. So you'll notice as I was gluing, I started from that one corner and worked my way out. I think it is easiest if we line up our design on those folded guidelines. That's why we folded our black paper to start with, so we knew where to put all of our pieces so we can make sure they all lined up and were symmetrical once we were done. So wherever something is lined up on this line, I'm going to make sure it is also lined up on this one. So now if I were to fold my paper along that line, it is going to be symmetrical. All of those designs, folds, and origami pieces that I added on this half of my square are the same as that half. So I'm going to let this dry. I'm going to save all of my papers so we can finish our sculptures next week. Let me know if you need any extra colors of origami paper, because next time we will be recreating that same design we started with in all of our different boxes. So you are going to need all of those same colors that you just used again in each box. I know this can get a little bit tricky, so try your best. It's okay if your folds aren't perfect. Since we are finishing these projects next week, you do not need to hand anything in today. Just make sure you save all of your materials in your art folder so we can use them next time. Try your best, have fun, and get creative, and I'll see you soon. Bye!